countdown begin. Raze back live again. Pop culture, entertainment, of course, the hot topics. Traveling somewhere in the tropics. Usually preserved for smoke show panels, $1 million plays. We expanding the channel, they say opinions like assholes. Watch your mouth at all times and don't mess up the cash flow. We live.
What up, what up, what up, what up? Raze back live again on this Friday night live stream. Hit that like button as you guys come in, guys, because we got some things to talk about. This Jane Doe woman that was testifying on the stand today. Man, oh man. First things first, let me ask you guys a question, and I want you guys' honest opinion. Have you seen someone collect $10,000 a month from another person and it be labeled a crime if it wasn't via a lawsuit? Let's say the person maybe had a lawsuit against another person, won the suit due to a crime or negligence, and that person had to pay $10,000 a month because of a court order. Now, have you seen a person collect 10 grand from another person each month without a court order, and the feds come in and want to say that person is a victim? The person collecting the money is a victim. Collecting $10,000 a month and is a victim. That victim is not collecting the money because of a court order from a lawsuit, because that victim is a victim of a crime. No. That person is collecting 10 grand from an individual to have her rent paid. Hit that like button, guys, as you guys come in. I have an audio from Diddy to Jane in which he made a phone call, and this will explain a lot about the reason she stayed around. There was a love contract, guys, and I have the audio. I had the audio of the phone call from Diddy to Jane Doe, who is the alleged victim, which I say, well, you know what? I'm just going to put out the stuff out there. I'm going to ask you guys, is she a victim in this whole thing? I still got to say, I'm starting to think that the feds are kind of stretching this whole victim stuff. Some people are victims. Some people in this trial are victims. But it comes a point to where not everybody is a victim. They are stretching this. I'm going to play the audio. I'm going to read to you what happened inside that courtroom. Shout out to you, Jima's World. Salute you, Jima's World. Hit that like button. Shout out to you on your channel, bro. Hopefully all is well with you, Ajima. Hopefully all is well with you. Now this person who is Jane Doe. And first thing, matter of fact, let me clear something up. Tisa Tells, the YouTuber with over 500,000 subscribers. Tisa Tells was not banned from the courtroom today. She is allowed to go inside the courtroom. There was a rumor from online that said that she was banned from the courthouse because of a doxing of Mia. That was the rumor, but that rumor was not true. She confirmed it on her live stream earlier tonight. So she is still allowed to go back inside the courtroom and report on the Diddy case. Now, surely she believes Jane is a victim. You know, she believes Jane is a victim. But like I said, I'm not following the peanut gallery over here on this channel. I'm trying to call it like I see it. I truly don't believe Jane is a victim. I'm going to ask you guys. I think they're using the word victim loosely with this. You know, This is not a Cassie situation. And hell, some people didn't even think Cassie is a victim, staying with Diddy all them years. But I can see Cassie being a victim more than this person, this Jane Doe, because so far she hasn't testified about any real violence towards her from Diddy, and she was able to stay away from him if she just didn't want to keep collecting the damn $10,000 a month for her rent. And she talked about how she loved him and this and that, but he kept sleeping with other women and this and that. Then why the hell do you keep going back? Oh, for the 10 grand. We're going to get into that. The love contract and all of that. Salute Emmanuel Jeter. Yo, what up? So you on Sean G's channel. That was a dope quick collab y'all did. Yeah, shout out to Sean G. Yeah, Sean G in this channel. I dropped this channel link the other night. Shout out to him for having me on. That was cool. Nice, quick, straight to the bottom of it. Shout out to him for all his success on YouTube. And yeah, he's the man. Shout out to you, Emmanuel Jeter. I appreciate you. Hit that like button, Raze and Crime Network. Yeah, Jack Black, Jack Black, this is getting out of control now. And I really do believe the feds are still overplaying their hand. And guess what? The Diddy cross defense team is going to slaughter this Jane Doe. Slaughter her on cross next week. I'm telling you, get your popcorn ready, guys. Get your popcorn ready next week. Now, she is going to be still testifying on Monday. She's going to have her tears, crying, and this and that. But, guys, Diddy is still paying her rent till this day. $10,000. That was reported today. Still paying her rent till this day. Do y'all guys understand? He is still paying her rent till this day. Like I said, I got the audio of his phone call to her. All right. So this Jane Doe person, let me just read to you. This from CNN. Jane cries as she details birthday hotel night. Now, guys, a hotel night is a meeting up with Diddy and basically having sexual encounters with him and others. Right? That's the hotel. That's what they call hotel night. Jane wanted it to just be with her and Diddy, guys. That's what this is all about. This is a relationship they had for 3 years. She wanted Diddy to herself. Diddy wanted to fling and swing and do all types of freakish stuff. He is a weirdo, sexual sex addict. She knows this by now. She said she participated in these things to make him happy. He was giving her gifts, paying her rent, and she went along with it, right? Now, Jane cried and was emotional as she detailed one hotel night in which she had sex with 3 other men at Combs' insistence on her birthday, okay? Jane said she flew to Miami in 2023 to celebrate her birthday with Combs, and he told her they'd spend quality time together. When they went to dinner, Combs brought up plans for a hotel night, and she reluctantly agreed to participate. Once again, reluctantly agreed to participate, guys. You're going to keep hearing this over and over again. Reluctantly agreed. Jane said the first man who showed up that she never met before felt like a stranger, and it was upsetting. More of an invasive moment because it was my birthday, and I didn't want to do this on my birthday, she said, crying. So they was already doing those hotel nights, right? This was just a special birthday. She thought it was just going to be her and Diddy. But lo and behold, Diddy had to get his freak off on, and he invited others there, right? Now, I can see what you say. Look, you said it was just going to be me and you. This is not going to be a hotel night with other people. But for the love of God, you done had hotel nights with this guy already. You have dealt with this guy already for a while now. You know how he is. Are you that naive? How old are you? Now, they're saying that this Jane Doe character is in her mid-30s. Are you that gullible? All right. After the man left, Jane and Combs moved to a different suite at the hotel, and Combs shifted his energy and became more loving. He had arranged for cake, flowers, and balloons in the suite, and they had some alone time, she said. But then another man came to the room for sex, and then a third man. Oh man. I acted like it was nothing, but inside I hated it, she said, adding between tears that she acted that way because she loved Combs. She loved him. Okay. This is not a Cassie situation where he used intimidation and force and beat her up, you know, for her to do these things, guys. Hit the like button as you guys come in. On the stand, Jane grew very emotional while discussing the birthday. She heaved more than once as she cried, and prosecutor Maureen Comey asked her repeatedly if she needed a break. Each time Jane said no. At another point in her testimony, a box of tissues was passed to her in the witness box by the courtroom deputy. After that birthday, Combs left her in the room and went on a private vacation with another romantic interest, Jane testified. So, of course, now she was getting her heart broke and stuff, but she kept going back, guys. She kept going back. According to the messages read aloud in court, she texted him, "Why do you lie to me?" She wrote to him that she wanted to get off the hamster wheel and said, "I didn't want to do all that on my birthday." Jane said she and Combs were on a break for about a month after that, but got back together. Hit the like button, guys. You guys come in. Hit the like button. Is this sounding so far? Is this sounding like a victim or a relationship? A odd relationship that included swinging and threesomes and foursomes. And she knows that already. She knows that already. He was paying her rent, $10,000 a month. And you could say he was holding that over her head, but that's all she had to do was say, "No, stop paying my rent." All she had to do was say, "No, I'll pay my own rent." Like, we're like, all right, you know what? Let me see what y'all saying. Let me see what y'all saying. Cause this is wild. All right, yeah. Like I said, shout out to Sean G. Get his freak on. Green Bean said she didn't have to stay, but she didn't want to give up with the lifestyle. Yeah, and that's why. That's my main basis of, well, this one is not a victim. Cassie was seen more like a victim mentally than this one, guys. And some people don't really agree that Cassie is a 100% a victim. Well, I say Cassie could be like 50-50, half and half victim, and maybe she really was intimidated and scared, but she wanted the lifestyle. It's like it's complicated. Let's just say that. Hit that like button, though, guys. I'm explaining to you why Jane Doe is no victim. I'm going to play for you an audio. I'm going to play for you an audio that Diddy sent to Jane. Okay. Let's see. Like I said, these prosecutors are pretty much, victim. Is everyone a victim in this country now? Like, is anything you do, like, she was trying to be in a real relationship with this dude, Diddy, and it was on and off for 3 years, and they entered a love contract, guys, in which Diddy agreed to pay her rent $10,000, but he gave her $10,000 a month for 2 years straight, and he still pays her rent till this day. Hit the like button, guys. Is that a victim? They put in a love contract. He asked her what she wants. They agreed upon $10,000 a month, and he still pays that till this day, even though he's in jail. Have you seen a victim get $10,000 a month without a lawsuit or without a court order forcing the guy to pay the victim the money? No, he just voluntarily gave her the money, and she took the money. That's a victim? Is that a victim? Are we just making up stuff are we making up new crimes these days? Because it seems like everything is a crime now. Are we just making up crimes? Like, that's a victim? That's a victim. Now, I can see her being a victim of a broken heart because she really loved Diddy. She testified that she loved Diddy. She really wanted Diddy to herself. That was the main thing. But for 3 years, 2 years, she kept accepting the money. She kept doing her freak offs. You kept going back, knowing damn well that man is a freak. Knowing over and over again Yeah, he'll tell you that it's just going to be you and him. But when you get there, it's going to be Paul, who was another guy that was mentioned. It's going to be some other guys or whatever, girls. Are you that stupid and that gullible to keep going back? No, you're not. You wanted the money. He didn't threaten you in a way where he was threatening to harm you and this and that. He just said, "Look, I can't be with you no more." I mean, no, he said, "Look, I'm not going to be chasing you, basically, or I'm not going to be paying your money. I'm not going to be giving you 10 grand or paying you, giving you gifts and stuff if you don't want this lifestyle no more." That's his lifestyle. It's a weirdo lifestyle. It's a swinger lifestyle. It's odd, but you volunteered to be in that. And I see other vloggers and YouTubers saying she's a victim. I'm like, what the hell? What was going on? How? How was she a victim? How? Like on what planet? Like what is this? I can see you saying he's guilty with on other stuff, but please don't call this lady a victim. Now you're just piling on, and it makes no sense. It's asinine. Woe is me. What up, T. Williams? Salute T. Williams. Salute Naji. How you doing? If he's willing to pay everyone off, he will win the case, says Booker T. Like I said, I'll be getting the reports that now even more detailed that one of the jurors was smiling on the cross-examination with Diddy's team, Brian Steele going at Mia, the alleged victim number 4, who claimed that Diddy assaulted her. And he was smiling. One of the jurors was smiling, and they not really supposed to be doing those facial expressions. Like I said, I think Diddy has one over the jury, like enough of the jury to, you know, cause some havoc during the time of them reading that verdict. They are all swingers, and Diddy is a what's that? Cuckold? Oh, cuckold. Doing good, Raze. Yeah, that's good. That's good. Yeah. We all know Diddy is strange and he has did criminal activities. We know that. But for the love of God, would y'all stop calling everyone a victim? This person is not a victim. You better off calling Cassie a victim. I believe she was a victim more than this lady. Okay. Uh this stuff is so graphic and all right. Jury sees and hears a hotel night. The jury heard audio from a hotel night in which Combs was dismissive of a request from Jane to have her male sex partner wear a condom. Okay. Oh my God. Oh my God. The audio was an excerpt from a video recording of a hotel night that captured a conversation between Jane, Combs, and a man named Don. On the recording, Jane said, "You promised," to Combs, who expressed his disapproval. Jane said on the stand that she and Combs had a conversation before the hotel night in which he told her it would be okay if she wanted the man she would have sex with to wear a condom. He eventually gave the entertainer a condom, Jane said. She said she asked Combs to allow the entertainers to wear condoms several times, but Combs was typically dismissive. Now, guys, this is weird stuff, but why do we care about this? Like, they are all. Is Jane Doe a underage female? She was in the mid-30s. These are adults doing adult things. Like, what are we doing? That's her stupid. She's stupid enough to keep going back to Diddy. If she don't like the sexual freakish stuff that he's doing, why are you going back to him? Oh, for the money. You can't claim victim now. He's still paying your rent to this day. Am I losing my mind? Have I lost my mind? Have I lost my mind? Raze, if Diddy was paying you to smash Cassie or Jane, would you choose? Hey, most guys, he wouldn't even have to pay for y'all to smash Cassia Jane. The Punisher interview was crazy, says Booker T. Yeah, you talk about with Homeboy, right? The rapper Cameron. The Punisher be going on a media tour. Nope, you're talking logical. Yeah, come on. Yeah, thank you, Anthony. I'm trying to be fair as possible, bro. But to hear other vloggers and social media people saying, "Oh my God, what did Jane go through? I can't believe it. Oh my God, really, really, really." She was involved in the freak offs. She was in love with the guy. She know Diddy is like that. Once she found out Diddy was into swingers and freak offs, that's when her love should have stopped. I can't even believe I have to even explain this nonsense. That's on her. That means she didn't mind. She loved him, and she accepted him for what he was, which was a weirdo freak sex addict. And she went along with it. Now you can't come back now and cry about it. I mean, let me say this. You can cry about it, but what's the crime? Like, how was this testimony bombshell testimony as far as like the sex part? Now, there was a part with the whole she took drugs on the ecstasy on a plane. That testimony is relevant. She took it on a plane for Diddy and her to get high in LA. So that's relevant because they could say that that's drug trafficking, even though he's not distributing the drugs on the streets of LA, he's using it in his bathroom, getting high with her. But that's a crime. But I for the life of me, I don't understand why people are saying that this testimony is bombshell testimony. Diddy is going to jail for life because this lady, Jane Doe, loved him and loved his lifestyle and loved the $10,000 she would get in a month and didn't really mind him in the beginning doing a freak offs with multiple men. That's on her. That's her fault. She's a grown adult. That's her fault for falling in love with him. Like, is everything a crime these days? Like, I mean, if y'all was more talking about the whole taking the drugs in the plane thing, that'd be different. But where's the crime? I don't see the crime with her falling in love and she's a victim and this and that. I don't see it. I'm sorry. I just don't. Hit the like button though. Hit the like button. I mean, maybe I see a crime with that. Must be the money. That's turning them on. Must be the money. I can't go wrong. Must be the money, says Rails the Hunter. Have you seen Sinners? Best movie this year? No, I haven't seen that movie, JoJo. I haven't seen that movie. If you recommend it, I'll try it out. If you recommend it, JoJo. Jane was trying to trap Diddy like she did. Like I said, well, I don't know. Like I said, because I'ma still be trying to get inside the courtroom, and I don't want to even mention that because I don't want them to say that Raze is doing this and doing that. You know what I'm saying? As far as that's concerned, there's a judge order, with that. So I'm gonna leave that one alone, T. Williams, because you don't want to see it. Typical man, Mercedes De Leon. Now I respect you, Mercedes. Now if you see it, like I said, it's all opinions. My opinion. But Mercedes. So are you going to say that she was brainwashed too? So she was brainwashed, Mercedes, 35-year-old lady, I believe, or in her mid-30s. How was she brainwashed? She says she's in love with this man, Mercedes. All right. Brainwashed in love. She testified in front of the juror that she's in love, Mercedes. Because you don't want to see it. Typical man. Like, so Mercedes. So you're telling me this whole relationship with this and this with Jane Doe and Diddy was a crime? I'm talking about the relationship part. I'm not talking about her taking the drugs for him on a plane. I'm talking about the relationship in general. She had free will. I'm talking about and I'm gonna play the audio. She had free will. That's a crime. She knew the lifestyle he was living. She kept going back for 3 years. 3 years, she knew he was a swinger and liked it like that. All she had to do was just say no. Remember the Ronald Reagan just say no Nancy Reagan in the 80s, the just say no campaign. You know, really, I mean, when are we going to stop this nonsense? Everything can't be illegal. Oh God. But even the drug thing is BS because she should be charged too, then not just him. Yeah, she's the one transported the ecstasy on the plane. If you believe her testimony, you know, now I don't even know if she have receipts or proof that that actually even happened. Like I said, the cross-examination, the Diddy's team is going to bury her. Now, I don't even know if they're going to mention that. They might not even bring that up because they probably don't want to remind the jurors about that, Anthony. They're going to cross-examine her, and I bet you there's going to be reports of some of the jurors in there smiling if Brian Steele is cross-examining her and tripping her up because I don't, you know, oh God. Hi everyone, happy Friday. Daniel Berry Sports Highlight says, shout out to you, Daniel Berry. Hit the like button, guys. Subscribe to the channel, guys. First, it's my body, my choice. Now they play dumb and illiterate. Yeah, I mean, it's just nonsense. And I'm not trying to be against real victims or this and that, but this is a stretch. And like I said, a lot of people are saying the RICO in itself is a stretch. This should have been like this is overcharging. Yeah, he's guilty of some stuff, but the whole RICO racketeering, some people were saying it is a stretch. Now let me play for you guys before I get into the article. This was a phone call that Diddy did to Jane, explaining to her, look, I'm going. Matter of fact, before I play it, let me go ahead and read to you first. So, right now, Combs still pays for her rent to this day. Jane says. Jane said she and Combs entered into a love contract in 2023. That was recently, guys, which he agreed to pay her $10,000 per month rent as an allowance. He is still paying for her rent. Even now, she testified on Friday. Where is the victim? She also testified he threatened to cut her off financially if she stopped participating in hotel nights, which is the hotel nights, of course, they get together. He bring in another man or some woman, and he watch as they have sex. In text messages from August 2023 that were read aloud in court amid a discussion about a hotel night, Combs told her he put $15,000 on credit for things in her new house. When Jane then expressed hesitation about having the hotel night, in part because she was having her period, Combs became angry and accused her of using him for money, according to the text. Days later, she expressed frustrations to Combs with how he treated her, and Combs sent her an audio message threatening to stop financial supporting her. I'm about to really disappear on you. You feel me? Sean Diddy Combs said in the audio message that was played aloud in court for the jury. He said she had a rude awakening coming if she didn't stop fighting him. You better get on your job. That's all it is, Combs said, because you got me on my job. Jane testified that she understood her job was taking care of him, being good to him, and making sure he was happy, which included the sexual encounters. She said his job was taking care of her financially. Jane also texted Combs that he had been making things feel completely transactional lately and was threatening me any chance that you get. She testified that Combs was constantly reminding her that he paid for her home. Hit that like button, guys. What are y'all guys thinking about this? Around the time when she and Combs entered into their love contract, Combs also paid for Jane to get veneers because he didn't like my teeth, Jane cried. Oh, he didn't like my teeth, so he paid for my veneers. Oh my God, what a crime. What a crime, guys. He paid for my veneers. I guess she probably felt insulted, I guess, that he didn't like the teeth, so he paid for her veneers. At one point, thereafter, when Jane texted him complaining that she hadn't seen him alone outside of a hotel room for the hotel nights, Combs responded, well, get over it, please. Look at the roof over your head and that pretty smile. I don't want to do anything if that's still an issue. In late 2023, she sent him text messages saying she didn't want to play this role in his life anymore. That was 2023. I feel it's the only reason you have me around and why you pay for the house, she wrote. I don't want to feel obligated to perform these sex nights for you anymore. Combs responded, girl, stop. Okay. What are y'all guys thinking? Is she a victim? Or is she's a person that entered into a relationship voluntarily? And it is what it is. I'm like, it is what it is. Bro, everything can't be a crime. That's the type of relationship. It was a weird, stupid, crazy relationship, but that's a relationship. It's their own, they're grown adults. She's not an underage kid. She's in the 30s. That was her decision. He didn't physically threaten to harm her. Like, where are we going with this? Coercion? They making a word like coercion. He coercing her because he was paying her rent. He said he's gonna stop paying her rent. I would too. Yo, who's gonna continue paying somebody rent $10,000 a month if you're not dealing with her no more? If she stopped dealing with you, why the hell am I still paying her rent? Like, what are we doing here? What's the crime in that? So what? He don't want to pay her rent no more. Oh no, he got it. He gotta let her go. He gotta let her walk away. And he can't be threatening not to give her money no more. What? Why? Like, what is this? What is going on here? What am I witnessing? What the hell is this? What is going on? Like, am I in bizarro? Is this the Twilight Zone? Is this the Twilight Zone? Why should he legally have to continue paying her $10,000 rent and she's not gonna be sexually involved with him anymore? Does she have his child? No. They were boyfriend and girlfriend. I mean, she loved the guy. Now, some people saying, well, now it started to become a just a transactional. Well, that's her fault. She could have walked away anytime and got a job. She got a job and paid her own damn rent. Hit that like button, guys. But I'm just a common sense type of guy. Yeah. If she don't want to bust it open, it's a wrap, says Travel Squad. It must be against the law to stop simping in New York. Yo, if Diddy, what I don't understand what's the problem with him telling her. They trying to make it seem like, oh, how can he tell her this? This is coercion. How dare he say he's going to stop paying her $10,000 a month if she don't do the freak offs? Well, that's the type of relationship they had voluntarily. He said, look, I'm not going to pay you money no more. Now, I'm not going to pay your rent no more. What's the crime in that? Coercion. I feel that they're making up crimes. They're making up words. And that's why I don't feel comfortable helping the government with this thing. If I was a juror, I'm like, charge people properly. Now y'all are really reaching with nonsense. Now, hi, Razor. Can you explain what racketeering is again, Razor? Hold on, JM. I'm gonna get into that. Mac Ryan, salute. Jane is a baddie. Have you seen her? I just seen the sketches. Like I said, I'm not even gonna, mention who she is. I don't want to hear nothing about that in the courtroom when I try to go in there. But yeah, if it is who we think it is, she is a baddie. And I didn't hear anything about any abuse or nothing yet. She's still going to be testifying on Monday, and the defense team is going to totally brutalize her. Now let me play the phone call from Diddy to Jane, and let me get y'all take if this sounds like somebody who was let me just play it. This is Diddy's call to Jane.
Hey, I really don't know what's going on with you, but I just want to just give you a heads up that I'm about to really disappear on you. You feel me? I'm not going to be playing these games with you at all, at all. So I don't know. You think you silent treating me, and you think I'm gonna be You'll have a rude awakening. You'll just have silence, and ain't nobody threatening you. And I ain't trying to go back and forth with no woman. You know what I'm saying? I'm telling you, I ain't got no time for no motherfucking games. Where my life is at right now, I don't have no time for no games, baby girl. Me and you could be mad, I could have a spat, we could have whatever. Then after that, you better get on your job. That's really that's all it is. Cause you got me on my job. Nah, it ain't never gonna work like that over here. You know what I'm saying? I was trying not to leave this message, but you have left me no choice. So either you go in the direction of like moving on and shit like that, or you like just like have me just keep moving. Ain't no threat. I'm just being clear. I can't do this shit with you every time you get upset.
Okay, guys, and guess what? After that, she went back to him. Grown lady, grown adult. What was so bad about that phone call, guys? What was the bombshell? People are like, oh, he's going to get life because of that phone call. What? What are y'all talking about? What are y'all talking about? What was so bad about that phone call? Diddy got love for the Filipinas and Black Asians. Shout out to Anonymous 65 is in the building. Yeah, I know about the legal context. Financial coercion in a legal context is a form of domestic abuse or economic abuse where someone uses financial manipulation to gain control and exert power over another person. Like I said, they are making up crimes, Anonymous 65. I mean, it's coming to a point to where everything is a crime. I just played the audio. All he said was, all right, go ahead and move on. So with that, what you just put up there, which I know about that with the coercion. I know about that. So was Diddy locked into that thing? He just said, look, I'm not gonna pay you. Is so does the law so the law is pretty much forcing Diddy to have to keep paying her. They're not married. He doesn't have a kid with her. They're boyfriend and girlfriend, basically. So that law is pretty much forcing Diddy to have to continue to pay her for the rest of his life. Then, I mean, if that's the case, when is he allowed to cut her off? When is he allowed to cut her off? You could tell he liked her in his own way, and she loved him. She loved. I mean, when is Diddy allowed to cut her off of the 10 grand if that's coercion? If he's not allowed, I mean, yeah, I mean, he said it. I mean, he said, I'm gonna cut you off. I mean, what else is he supposed to say? Look, you're not taking my calls. You avoiding me. You want to go, you want to move on. Okay, fine. He didn't threaten to harm her as far as physically. He did threaten as far as the $10,000. He's not gonna pay no more. But what else is he supposed to say? I'm gonna keep paying you 10 grand. I mean, really, it comes to a point when it's just like too many laws. These laws is just very weird. Like, it's like, what is Diddy supposed to say? When are people gonna be held accountable for their own actions? Why is it always somebody else fought for their actions? This lady entered into that contract with that man. She kept testifying. She kept that she loved him, and basically she wanted him for herself. But she still stayed around 3 years with him. Like, when is accountability for grown people going to come into play? I mean, this was the relationship they was having. This back and forth relationship. She knew it was up. So this woman has zero accountability or nothing. Just because a technical legal word, coercion. Like I said, I've been hearing about the word coercion all day. And I'm like, what is going on with this legal system? Until this day, he still continues to pay her rent, 10 grand. She testified till this day, even as she's testifying, turning state witness against him. He still pays her rent. Well, that's probably going to stop. Is he allowed to stop paying her rent now since she's testifying against him? Is he allowed now? Is he allowed now to say, hey, since you testified against me, I'm not paying your $10,000 rent no more. Now I guess he's allowed to say he's not going to pay no more. I mean, like I said, I know he's guilty of some of this stuff, guys. Don't get me wrong at all. But for the love of God, he is not allowed to say he doesn't want to pay her 10 grand no more because she's leaving him. That's normal. Every man would do that. Every single man would do that. I'm not paying nobody. Hell, I'm not giving you $100 a month no more if you decide to leave me. I ain't got no kid with you. I ain't. Why am I giving you $100? If you're relying on my $100 a month and you talk about you leaving, you're not taking my calls. All right, well, listen, you get with the program, or you ain't getting my $100 a month. You know what I'm saying? Like, why am I paying you and you not gonna be around me or hanging out? You know what I'm saying? Like, what the hell is this? Even there, he said there was no threat. He said it in the audio that he's not threatening her. See, they're trying to say the threat was, when I read the article, matter of fact, let me read the article. Recap of Diddy trial. Jane says Sean Combs threatened to cut her off financially over sexual hotel nights. All right. So basically, what the prosecution is trying to put inside of the jurors' heads, and this is the 12 jurors, that these are threatening, how dare he, threaten to cut her off financially, basically forcing her to do these sexual acts, or he's not going to give her the $10,000 that she's relying on, and this and that. I know where they're going with this. I know what they're trying to do. But where is self-accountability? This is a grown lady. She's playing ball with Diddy. She's going back and forth. She's playing tennis, serving volley. She signed up for it voluntarily. A woman using the name Jane took the stand for a second day of salacious testimony at the end of the fourth week of Sean Diddy Combs' federal criminal trial. Jane's testimony comes as the prosecution seeks to show Combs and his inner circle used violence, lies, drugs, and other means to coerce Jane and Cassie into having sex with other men as part of drug-filled sexual performances known as hotel nights or freak-offs. Now, I believe, see, this is what other social media people and media guys are saying, that Combs, well, he didn't use the violence so far. She didn't testify about the violence, but he used lies, drugs, and other means to coerce Jane, let's stick with Jane, into having sex with other men. Now, when is personal responsibility going to come into this, guys? When is personal? When are the females that are involved? When did it? Now, because Jane is not saying that she felt for her life that she couldn't say no. She just wanted the money. Yeah, I can see. Look, I can see her falling in love with Diddy. I can see her. Yeah, I can see her taking the 10 grand. She's still getting paid the 10 grand to this day. But I don't see where. I just don't. These ladies were addicted to the lifestyle he provided more than any drug they did with him. They signed up for it. And especially this Jane, she know how he is, and she kept going back and forth. It was one time she testified that on the birthday, I guess that was the birthday thing she was talking about, that he called her up. They weren't seeing each other for a minute. He called her up and invited her somewhere for her birthday, and said he wanted to get with her again, and she agreed. She didn't. She could have said no. She said she got back with him because she loved him. I mean, this is a weird relationship, but I mean, I don't think the government should be involved in this portion of their relationship. That's just their relationship right there. Now, carrying the drugs on the plane, yeah, that's relevant. That's a crime. Now, I said earlier I wouldn't consider that like Pablo Escobar type drug trafficking, but they're going to frame it that way. I say, look, that is a crime. Taking ecstasy pills on a plane to LA, that is a crime, and should be punished appropriately. It was for personal use. It wasn't for just like, selling kilos of cocaine around Compton or anything like that. But still, it is a crime. I don't think that's not a life sentence, because they did that ecstasy together inside the bathroom. They were addicts. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I just think he should be charged appropriately. And it seems like they're piling on with making this this Jane seemed like a victim just to make their case look better. After the person yesterday was caught pretty much lying about Diddy dangling her off the balcony when he wasn't even in the same state on the day she said that happened. He was in New York. He was in New York with receipts. Diddy is better than me. I would have never given her a phone call, says T. Williams. She can say he forced her to have sex with other men and threatened to cut off her financially if she didn't. That's what they are pushing. Yeah. And yeah. I mean, but I'm like, so what? Yo, I hate to sound brutal, bro, but if I'm a juror, I'm like, all she had to do was say no and then go get a job. Bro, like, I'm not talking about, anonymous. I'm just saying, in general, all these other I'm like, okay, she should have got a job. She's a grown lady. If she didn't want to do it, he's offered you a chance to get $10,000 a month. You agreed. And what you agreed, you agreed to the term. You already knew he wanted you to be with these other people. You already knew that before you even signed that love contract. You knew that. You knew how he is already. And you signed the contract. You knew what he wanted. You didn't have to do it. So I'm like, oh, okay, she agreed. You can't come back crying now. And he's still paying her to this day. They make everything into a crime, man. That's why I can't rock with them, man. I would excuse myself in the jury. I'm like, nah, I don't want to be involved in this. I don't want to be involved in this. Because she didn't even testify that she feared for her life, like the other girls. If I didn't do these parties, he threatened to harm me or hurt me. He beat me up. She didn't even say all that stuff yet. I mean, I said yet because maybe she will on Monday, but he is paying her 10 grand a month. I got time today. Thank you. Someone saying the same thing I was saying. Take responsibilities for your actions. Yeah, I mean, it comes a point when it's like, it's just silly. I got time today. Hit the like button, guys. Subscribe to the channel. Anybody new to the channel? I'm like, what are we doing here? Is everything a crime now? If the feds want to target you and get you, they're gonna label every single thing, every personal thing you did with somebody a crime. They're gonna threaten them and bring them on trial and on the stand to testify against you. When you're actively paying $10,000 to this person, have her crying, saying she was coerced to do this. So they use the word coercion, but not force, because technically she wasn't forced, but coerced because she still wanted to collect the $10,000. That's on her. Get a job. Or sell the damn house. Was that he was paying her mortgage? Sell the house. You can't afford it. If you don't want to do what you signed up for, sell the house. That's what normal people do when they can't afford the mortgage. Nobody sell the house. They either sell the house or they go sell their ass. Sometimes. Some people. That's adult decisions you make. That's her decision to do that. She sold herself to Diddy. Hit that like button, guys. When she stepped in her friend's shoes, that's when he didn't have any respect for her. Yes, because her friend was dating Diddy, and she started dating him. Look, I mean, I would have taken the veneers. He paid for her veneers. She testified that, you know, he paid for her veneers because he didn't like her teeth. Meaning she was trying to draw more sympathy from the people in the, how dare he, you know, he's pretty much insulting her mouth. So he paid for her veneers. I guess she was trying to make it look like that was an insult to her, and he paid. Woe is me, Travel Squad. Woe is me. I mean, this is ridiculous. But, you know, from now on, I'm going to only refer to, in case I ever get voice recorded, get sued, I'm going to slap. Shout out to you, Mike Deezy. How you doing, Mike Deezy? Like I said, I'm not even saying that Diddy is not guilty of some crimes here. I just want people to be charged correctly and not overcharged. And, you know, having this seem like this is more than it is as far as this victim. Because what they're doing, they're making this seem, this just normal relationship. Not a normal, it's a weird relationship, but it's two consenting adults. That's why I'll keep going back to. And she was getting paid well for it. I mean, it's like, so we're going to give Diddy life in prison for this. This is the smoking gun. He gets life in prison for this because he threatened to stop paying $10,000 to her that she agreed to, knowing that he is a freak. Choose your men more wiser, females. Like, what are you doing? You like that. You testified. So I don't know what's the big deal. She testified she loved him. So she loved the lifestyle. She loved him. She loved the way she loved his freakish ways. Like, I don't get it. I don't understand what's going on here. She wanted what her friend was getting. Yeah, surely she knew what her friend was getting. She knew what her friend was getting from Diddy. Sexually and monetarily. Trey's in the building. Salute to you, Trey. She wasn't forced to fly with the pills. So who really committed the crime here? That's another thing. Now, you know, she took the pills, the ecstasy pills on the plane, which is a federal crime. Charge them properly for that. And whatever the, you know, if it's proven, then yeah, if I'm on a jury, I find them guilty of that. I would. I'd be like, all right, that's guilty. What's the penalty for that though? I'm not giving life for that because it was for personal use. T. Williams. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying Diddy is not guilty of crimes. I would never say that. I'm kind of squeamish on the whole federal racketeering. I think it's, you know, this is just like it gets tricky when you're trying to put a guy in jail for life because of this Jane situation with the 10 grand. You know, and like I said, it is a crime to take pills on a plane, right? Ecstasy. Now, if you was in a country like let's say Indonesia or something like that, and you did that, well, you get the death penalty. But that's not the USA. You get what I'm saying? You got, you know, so what's the penalty for really her taking those pills on that plane so her and Diddy could get high in LA? What's the penalty? What would be the like max penalty? And if I were on a jury, yeah, I probably have found him guilty. I would still need some more evidence because it's still just her word, just to make sure she's not lying about it. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, let me see. I wish I was getting paid $320. I wish I was getting paid $320. So we outside. Let me play this for you. Does this sound like a victim? Like this is sound like? Let me just play this.
Hey, I really don't know what's going on with you, but I just want to just give you a heads up that I'm about to really disappear on you. You feel me? I'm not going to be playing these games with you at all, at all. So I don't know. You think you silent treating me, and you think I'm gonna be You'll have a rude awakening. You'll just have silence, and ain't nobody threatening you. And I ain't trying to go back and forth with no woman. You know what I'm saying? I'm telling you, I ain't got no time for no motherfucking games. Where my life is at right now, I don't have no time for no games, baby girl. Me and you could be mad, I could have a spat, we could have whatever. Then after that, you better get on your job. That's really, that's all it is. Cause you got me on my job. Nah, it ain't never gonna work like that over here. You know what I'm saying? I was trying not to leave this message, but you have left me no choice. So either you go in the direction of like moving on and shit like that, or you like just like have me just keep moving. Ain't no threat. I'm just being clear. I can't do this shit with you every time you get upset.
There you have it. Do you have it? We outside. Do you have it? We outside. I mean, he said, "Look, you gonna move on? I'll move on, but I'm not gonna continue to pay you your 10 grand. What's wrong with that? I don't see. We outside. You would have kept paying. We outside. If you had a girl you was simping on, paying her 5 grand a month, right? And she was giving you the cold shoulder, wasn't taking your calls. We outside. Would you be a simp and continue to pay that 5 grand you giving her for a relationship? Yeah, you're simping. Yeah, you keeping her around because of the money she's getting, but you simping. But if she was ignoring you and trying to break off the relationship, would you be a simp? We outside and keep paying? Sounds like you would to me. It seemed like. Don't be a simp. We outside. Don't be a simp. She doesn't have to be a victim. He conducted criminal activities in his business capacity. Now, that's what I said. They're trying desperately. But what I don't like, Maya, lunatics, I don't like them using this as, I don't like that they're playing this relationship as victim. You know what I'm saying? Get him on the crimes that he committed. The money, right? The bribery, the $20,000 sent. I said all this. I don't like all this extra nonsense, this BS, because they're piling on, trying to make smart people believe that Jane is a victim. Now, you're just not gonna like you are overreaching. I don't like that. It's piling on. So you're piling on with nonsense. This is not a crime. This is not a crime. I don't care about your coercion definition. I just don't care about your coercion definition. You can give me 10 different definitions of coercion. I don't care. That's why I removed myself from the jury. Smoking gun. He threatened to take away the $10,000 he was giving her. He's going to jail for life. What the hell? That's the smoking gun? You'd be better off saying the pills on the plane is the smoking gun. That's the thing. That's the thing I just don't like, Maya. I think it's just piling on with nonsense. Now everybody's a victim. Anybody that came in contact with the man is a victim when they agreed to do whatever the freakish nonsense they were doing. And the feds, the prosecutors are parading these people up there, and some of them all getting caught in lies, which is proven. And no telling if this person is even lying. I mean, I reluctantly agree that she probably not lying. Because once again, I'm like, why would she lie, right? But the last person that was up there got caught in lies. So, now I'm off that, well, more than likely she's not lying. I'm off for that now because the last person got caught lying. The, what was her name? What was, Brianna? Ninjas hate work. Them hoes want quick fame and fortune. Bottom line, Jane Doe is a bum. She could have walked away anytime, Travel Squad. Anytime. You heard of it. What they're trying to do is make Diddy's freak offs a crime in general. Make it seem like it was so wild and crazy that him being that way and being a swinger is pretty much a crime anyway. And if he got girls to be involved with it, that's a crime. Basically, that's pretty much how they're trying to frame it. That is just a crime. I say it's freakish. It's crazy. But if there was no underage people involved, if there was no people forcibly kidnapped and held down or drugged, I'm like, well, these are all adults. Why? What business of it? Why am I involved in this? You get what I'm saying? It's not stuff I would do. I don't want to be involved with these people. But I mean, these are adults. I mean, I don't know what else these women were tricking. Jane is 50, baby mom. Well, like I said, I'm not gonna get into that just in case I'd be trying to go into court. I don't know that rumors is going around. Sounds like Diddy really liked the chick to make that phone call, says T. Williams. Yeah, it seemed like he really liked her in his own way, in this own circle of freak offs and sick sexual stuff that they like, that Jane liked, that Jane loved because she loved him. You know what I'm saying? I could see if it only happened one time or two times, and she was like, look, I went there to be with just Diddy, and he brung out Paul and brung out this person like one or two times, and then she's coming testifying about that. But not over a span of 3 years, and now she's crying on the stand. You knew that already, and didn't for the past 2 years. You signed the deal in 2023, $10,000 a month. You are no victim. You are no victim. You are no victim. Maybe you are a victim of being gullible. You're a victim of falling in love with a guy that was never really going to have you as his sole girlfriend. You're heartbroken. You're heartbroken. I can see that. That you was hoping that he probably would change. I guess he was trying to change him, guys. I guess he was trying to change him while collecting 10 grand. But people have lost their mind. That's the reason he's getting life, because of this audio. This audio with the smoking gun.
Hey, I really don't know what's going on with you, but I just want to just give you a heads up that I'm about to really disappear on you. You feel me? I'm not going to be playing these games with you at all, at all. So I don't know. You think you silent treating me, and you think I'm gonna be You'll have a rude awakening. You'll just have silence, and ain't nobody threatening you. And I ain't trying to go back and forth with no woman. You know what I'm saying? I'm telling you, I ain't got no time for no motherfucking games. Where my life is at right now, I don't have no time for no games, baby girl. Me and you could be mad. I could have a spat. We could have whatever. Then after that, you better get on your job. That's really that's all it is. Cause you got me on my job. Nah, it ain't never gonna work like that over here. You know what I'm saying? I was trying not to leave this message, but you have left me no choice. So either you go in the direction of like moving on and shit like that, or you like just like have me just keep moving. Ain't no threat. I'm just being clear. I can't do this shit with you every time you get upset.
And they played that in the courtroom. So what was so bad about that, guys? That's the smoking gun. Some people are saying that's going to get him locked up for life. Okay, well, man, I don't know what's going on with this legal system. If that's going to get him locked up for life, I'm at a loss for words. We outside, bro. You had to see my live streams over the past few days. That's what we've been talking about: S trafficking and drug and S trafficking, bro. First of all, I did a live stream saying that it seems like the jurors don't give a damn about all of this anyway, because they are on Diddy's side. Multiple reports are saying that some of those jurors be smiling, and they will be again, trust me, once this Jane Doe is being cross-examined by Diddy's defense team, Brian Steele, once he starts doing that again, those jurors are going to be cheering. I'm telling you, we outside. It's all about, it's not really about me or anybody else. It's about those 12 jurors. And reports are saying from people that have been inside that courtroom that some of those jurors are cheering for Diddy's defense team by their facial expressions. When guys like Brian Steele is cross-examining these people, they are going to have a field day with Jane. We outside, a field day. They might not even bring up the drugs. I don't think Diddy's defense team is going to bring that up. I think they're just going to try to win over the jury again by tripping Jane up and keep asking her, why did you go back? Why did you take the 10 grand? Why this and that? You were in love with him, so how are you a victim? They're going to push that, and I think the prosecution overplayed their hand with this because Diddy's defense team is going to kill this lady on the stand next week. And guess what? The jurors that hold the fate of Diddy in their hand is going to be enjoying it. Watch when those reports. I'm gonna be at the court. I'm gonna be at the building. Watch when the people come outside. They're gonna be like, yeah, the jury. Some people in the jury, all they need is one. Some people in the jury was cheering the cross-examination yet again with their facial expressions. This lady is not a victim. We outside, you can believe she a victim. I know you're saying it's not her being the victim. Yes, it is. They're trying to say that she was sex trafficked. You said about sex trafficking. We outside. Do you believe Jane was sex trafficked, or was she just, they were boyfriend and girlfriend in their own weird way and he was paying her rent? Is everything sex trafficking? Do you agree with everything being sex trafficking? I mean, these laws, man, and that's what I'm saying. It's not about defending Diddy, the man, because we know he's a piece of blank. It's about setting a precedent. Is everything illegal? Is this illegal? Does Jane, like, her relationship with Diddy was illegal? That was S trafficking that was going on. They was in a real relationship. It's not a classic, you know, husband and wife relationship, but it was a relationship, boyfriend and girlfriend. But no matter what you call it, she agreed to it. Is everything illegal? Are we setting that precedent? That's the thing. I think a lot of people that is defending Diddy, I'm gonna keep telling you right we outside. They don't like the way the laws are written. Some of these laws, not all the laws, but like it's like some of these laws are so vague and just so, and you know, some people feel that some of these things should not be illegal. And to have that inside of a federal racketeering thing, some of these stuff that he's being accused of, and is like, or being, you know, with these victims, some people on the jury, on the own jury, that's why they're smiling when some people on that jury probably don't even feel that some of these things should be. They're human beings. They're not AI. They're human beings. Some of them might feel like we feel. Some of, you know. Now you might have some hardliners that say, oh, it's the law. Those sex workers, they did cross state lines, so you got to be guilty of. So you're gonna have that too. You're gonna have some people in that jury that say, well, he brung in this prostitution is illegal. He paid the money to cross state lines, so automatically he's guilty. So well, if that's the case, you might as well stop the trial now because he's automatic guilty, right? If that's the case, if that means an automatic conviction, that means he is guilty. That's why if it was a judge making a decision, he would find him guilty. I already said that many times. We outside. This is a jury. The jury is different. The jury is 12 different people with 12 different minds making this decision. And from all reports, the jury is buying what Diddy's defense is selling. Now, I don't know if it's going to last. I think it is because they are going to have a field day with this Jane Doe. There's no doubt about it. And like I said, I don't even think they're going to mention the drugs on the plane. They might not even mention that. They're going to want that to get out the jury head. It'll be interesting, though, if they do tackle that and cross-examine her on that. It will be. I hope they do mention it for my own entertainment, because I want to see how they handle that. Because technically, that is a crime. I'm not the type of person to say Diddy ain't commit no crime. We outside. I don't know what you're talking about. But I'm not just gonna blindly follow every witness. Did you hear We Outside yesterday about the witness? Talk about she got dangled by her legs 17 stories high, and then a couple of days later she was at a Diddy concert and hanging out. She needed a neck brace, but she didn't wear the neck brace at the party he had scheduled. You know, she said she probably should have wore it, but she didn't. She called Cassie a couple of weeks later. Hey, I want to get Diddy a sweater. You're doing all this stuff when you just claimed this guy dangled you off of a 17th floor building. Why the hell aren't you calling the police? He tried to kill you. What if you would have slipped before the baby oil in his arms? Hit that like button, guys. And the reason why I say she was lying, because they said they came with the receipts. They called her liar to her face. He was in the Trump Hotel in New York when you said he did that. They asked her point blank. One man can't be in two places at the same time, right? She had no answer. They called her a liar and said, you're a liar. You lied to this court. You lied in front of the jury. So Diddy's team did a good job the other day. Now this situation is the same thing. This lady is saying all of this stuff is going on. Is she lying too? That's another thing. Like, sorry to say, this is not a slam dunk case. I know people wanted to be a slam dunk. It's not going to be a slam dunk. O.J. Simpson wasn't a slam dunk. People thought it was going to be a slam dunk. They seen him running in the Bronco. He had to be guilty. No, he's guilty. Yeah, he got to be guilty. We, the jury, find, what was his name? Orenthal, J. Simpson, not guilty. Hey, sometimes the jurors get it wrong, too. You know, sometimes the jurors get it wrong. You see what I'm noticing now? We outside, the people that want Diddy to be guilty is going to say that every person that's testifying against him is right. And everything is true. And then every little thing that's on videotape that they play, oh, that's a smoking gun. He's going to jail for life. No. That's not how I operate. He may get convicted. He may go to prison. But I'm just here to tell you that not everything that you hear on the stand is true. I think it's just piling up, and I don't like that. I don't like the pile up. You have enough evidence. You could have got him on. You could have pressed charges for Cassie. The state could have pressed charges for Cassie for domestic violence. Y'all could have pressed charges on that whole airplane thing with him taking drugs in the airplane. You know, with her taking, he didn't, but she did. Y'all could have brung him up with whatever charges that would be. Charge him appropriately. I don't like all this piling up and bringing in Jane and pretty much hinting that this is a crime. I don't see this is not a crime. What the relationship with Jane, it's weird. It's a weirdo. They're both weird crackheads. Well, I shouldn't say crackheads. I shouldn't call them crackheads, but they're weird drug addicts. And she's still to this day getting paid lovely. You buy a chick at a bar. You buy a chick a drink at a bar and then go to a hotel. Is that drugs and trafficking? Yeah, that's pretty much. That's what I'm saying. They are opening up Pandora's box with this. And for people not to see this just because they really hate Diddy and this and that, some things you got to separate. Yeah, you can root for him to go to jail, but some things you got to separate. Remember, they can come after you. That's what I'm saying about setting the precedent. You buy a chick a drink at the bar and then go to a hotel. Is that drugs and trafficking? It might sound silly what you're saying, remain confident, but it's not that far-fetched. If they really want to get you, and then if they get the girl to come up there and testify that, yeah, I didn't really want to go to the hotel with him, but, you know, he claimed that he bought me all these drinks and he coerced me to go to the hotel because, you know, he's saying he spent his last dollars on me. I didn't want to go to that hotel with him, but he spent $200 of his last money, and he was like, you know, guilt tripping me to go to the hotel with him. I didn't want to do it. You know, I was grossed out afterwards. You know, he made me feel ashamed. That's where we're headed. Remain confident. You might think that I'm over exaggerating. No, I'm not. We're here now. We're there now with this. If it's about drug trafficking, charge him with the crime with no evidence. Good luck. Well, technically, there is no evidence beside the testimony of this lady that said she took the drugs on the plane, right? Now, like I said, you could want to believe her. I believe she probably did, you know. Now, I probably shouldn't because of the last person that testified, but I believe she did. See, I'm being fair, guys. I believe she did. But it's like I said, it's not Pablo Escobar type trafficking. It's she brought some pills on the plane so they can get high in the bathroom in LA. I mean, you know, there's levels. It's a crime, but charge them according to the crime being committed, Travis Squad. That's all I'm saying. I can find them guilty on stuff, but do I feel comfortable helping the feds? They want to put them in jail for life. You know what I'm saying, Travis Squad? That's what I'm saying. But people don't understand what I'm saying. So, I mean, I don't get it, but, you know. Let me see. I can't even say he was wrong for asking for his 20,000 back either. Ask the man you are seeing to pay for it. I can't even say he was wrong for asking for his 20K back. I didn't see that. What 20K he wanted back? What $20,000? I missed that one. I didn't see that report. Ask the man you are seeing to pay for it. Oh, I can't even say he was wrong. Oh, so he asked her for money back. Oh, okay, so he asked her for money. You know, guys do that, man. They give girls gifts or buy a girl ring, or some jewelry. The girls break up with him, and the man he asked for his gold chain back, you know, and this and that. You know what I'm saying? That happens in relationships, man. Now we know Diddy was overkill with this stuff, you know, and he was frequent, but she signed up. She wanted the lifestyle. If you look up the definition of Romeo pimp, that's what Diddy did. So he's saying Diddy was a Romeo pimp. So he's saying Diddy was pimping. Well, can we charge him with pimping, Pam Gator? That's all we're saying. And that's all Ray J was saying. Can we charge the man properly and not try to put him, can we charge him for soliciting prostitution? Can we charge him for pimping?
I feel like it's becoming a circus act for stuff that doesn't make any sense for what Diddy's being charged for. I mean, there's a lot of bad things happening, and we all agree with that. But a RICO, racketeering, sex trafficking, like I've been with Diddy a long time. And if I haven't seen any of these kind of heinous acts happening, then where was I when it was happening? If you told me that the Kardashians was being charged for racketeering, I might believe it. But Diddy, sex trafficking, and all these other extra things, like, it's, to me, knowing him, knowing the situation, being around with most of the people that's testifying, you know, I just feel like there's somebody at the top who's making a statement, who's making a point. I'm sure Diddy got the point. Free Diddy, he got the point. He's chilling now.
That's not how it works.
I mean, Man, I know I get it, but I'm just keeping it real. Like, it's not okay to throw something extra on a man when the charges could have been something totally different.
You see, Ray J, now he got a point. The charges could have been something totally different. He's not saying that nothing happened. He's saying the charges is probably over exaggerated. Yeah, guys agree, guys. Hit that like button, guys. Hit that like button. Hit that like button. Ooh. They were getting high and doing sexual stuff straight like that. Yeah, it was. And she did it voluntarily, man. I mean, these are grown adults, man. These are grown adults. Now, when it comes to the sexual stuff, once they introduce, if they ever do, a underage person, then I'll be more inclined to be like, okay, well, that's the smoking gun. If you're talking about crimes committed for freak offs and stuff like that, because right now these are all adults, man. You know what I'm saying? You know, these are all adults. What else am I like? What am I doing here? Like, I cringe even talking about this. These are adults in their own ways. They have their own ways, their own likes and fetishes and nonsense. And they're dealing with a millionaire, a billionaire. And of course, they want some money out of them for these acts and stuff. So that's just the way the world works. That's how it's always been working. You know what I'm saying? I mean, and you're always going to have the rich millionaire be overly, you know, like he's God and stuff like that. I mean, that is what it is. I mean, but some of these people signed up to be in that lifestyle. And like I said, I never thought I would say this before, you know, once he first was arrested. I'm like, well, because I heard all of this stuff about the underage people and all of this assaults and this and that. Tony Busby with the 150 people on the list that was suing him, and there was going to be other co-defendants and other celebrities and all that hoopla drama. All right, where are they? Where are they inside the courtroom when it's really official? When they had to come on the stand and swear on their oath that happened to them as underage people. You would think the prosecution would call one of those alleged victims. One. Where's the person that sued Jay-Z and Diddy? Where is she? Now I know she dropped that case for the lawsuit, but why isn't the prosecution calling her to the stand? If they believe what she was saying was true. Oh, crickets. Oh, yeah. Right, yo, crickets. Where is she? Where is she, Rogue Moonchild? Why is she not a star witness? The star witness who accused Jay-Z and Diddy, a Tony Busby client. Where is she? She is here to step up to the plate and bury Diddy. She's nowhere to be found because the prosecutors know that story was bull jive. I am confused on Ray J drying because he was out there running his mouth. Ray J had a run-in with Diddy's sons too, like months ago. Now that's not how it works. Ray J, the Glazer. Hey, you know, hey, you can call him a Glazer. I mean, you know, but he does have a point. If I step back, at first I was like having fun with it. I was like laughing at it. You know, I played it for y'all, but technically, I don't like what I'm seeing. I don't like them trying to make this Jane Doe person a victim inside that courtroom. That's what I just don't like that. If she would have just came and testified about the drug thing on a plane and them ordering the prostitutes, which would be sex trafficking, you know what I'm saying? if she was to get that test, I don't like this long, hours long testifying about their personal relationship. Because that's like really that's their own adult relationship back and forth. Two adult idiots that are freaks and drug addicts. That and then people are saying that that's a crime. No, that's just added. Yeah, I guess y'all don't really understand where I'm coming from. I guess y'all don't understand where I'm coming from. I don't like all of the added stuff. And that's pretty much what Ray J was saying. So I kind of agree with him. I don't like the added stuff. Charge people, not just Diddy, anybody. If I was caught up in that, I would want them to charge me appropriately. If you was caught up in that, I would want them to charge you appropriately. Don't treat me like I'm John Gotti, Sammy the Bull Gravano. You trying to make it to where I can't win this at all with the RICO and racketeering, which is so blanket covering the, like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, if Diddy is guilty, so are all the Password Bros, says Cap D coming. I am wasting my brain cells. Good night. Well, you know what? Have yourself a shot of some Hennessy. We outside. It's Friday night. We outside. It's Friday night. Get have some Hennessy. Invite a chick over. Make sure you get in there right. We outside. That is, you don't want to get brought up on federal sex trafficking charges. We outside. You have a chick over. You know what I'm saying? Hit that like button, guys. When they go away that quietly, the money shut them up. Have some Hennessy and scopolamine, says Travel Squad. Single woman. Oh, man. Pink Goddess, we are not saying he's completely innocent. We are saying the prosecutors are not proving the case, facts, and evidence over feelings. Yeah. And the people that want him to be guilty, I really do. I believe Diddy was horrible. He's a horrible guy. I'm just coming out and say it. But just because I believe he's a horrible guy, I don't like the feds. I don't want the feds over prosecuting people, not just him, anybody, because it sets a bad precedent. That's what I'm saying. And that's what a lot of people are saying. Pink Goddess. We're not against law. We're not against the law. And we just think every little thing can't be a crime. This Jane and Diddy stuff, that's not a crime. The pill stuff, yes. Taking it on a plane, that's a crime. Can we keep it to that? Can we if you want to say, all right, the adult prostitute that cross state lines to engage in prostitute, that's a crime. Okay, whatever. It's on the books as a crime. But the relationship, two consenting adults having a drug-filled relationship, which he paid her $10,000 a month, that's a crime. It's a crime for him to say, look, I'm not going to pay you $10,000 a month no more if you break up with me. Is that a crime? That's what they're saying in that courtroom. Do y'all understand what I'm talking about? Do y'all want that stuff to be crimes? That's a horrible precedent to set. So it's a crime for me to tell this girl, well, I'm not going to give you no more money because you're not coming to my house no more. So I'm not going to help pay your rent or pay your light bill and stuff like that. That's a crime? That's a new crime in the books. Coercion, Raze. So the only reason she's coming to hang out with you now and come to your house, maybe sleep with you, because you saying you're not going to pay a light bill each month no more. That's a crime. Get the hell out of here. Coercion, Razor. It's on the books. Coercion. The feds always win, Razor. They got you, Razor. You coerced her, Razor. All I told her is find some other simp to go pay her light bill. Diddy could have told her, hey, go find some other guy to pay you $10,000 a month rent or a mortgage payment. Go find some other celebrity. Is that a crime? So everything that this guy did, everything, because like I said, if they label that a crime, what he just did, that's gonna fall on you for smaller stuff. Paying a girl light bill and threatening to say, I'm not gonna pay a light bill unless you come to my house or this and that, or why are you giving me the cold shoulder? I'm not gonna pay a light bill no more. That $200 a month anymore. Then later on, she going to court. Well, I didn't want to go over there, but he said he's not gonna pay my $200 light bill anymore. Are y'all not getting what I'm saying? I'm trying to put it into layman's terms. I'm trying to give y'all examples. What's happening here? I think it's setting a bad precedent with all this. I don't like the extra stuff they're throwing. I don't like that extra stuff. I won't agree. I just. Yeah, I know about that. They can lock their money up, Ace. Chris 212. So Raze, what do you think is the real motive? I don't know. I mean, I don't want to even get into all that because I'm not into conspiracy theories or nothing like that. I just think that sometimes people are overcharged. I mean, there's no real. I don't think there's no real ulterior motive or goes deeper to that than that. Chris 212. I just think sometimes the people are overcharged. They're trying to make sure that they nail him. They think they have a federal racketeering. They are piecing together a federal racketeering. And I could see how some of it can, but it's still very, it's not clear. See, the John Gotti stuff, the mob, that was clear cut. People say that the Young Thug racketeering, that was clear cut racketeering. RICO. When you gotta continue to ask, where's the RICO? Where's the RICO? Every day, was that RICO? Is that RICO? I think they proved RICO. I think that's RICO. That could be RICO. Is that RICO? The money. Is this case really RICO? If it's not really clear cut, matter of fact, let's go to an expert.
John Diddy Combs' sex trafficking trial will resume tomorrow as a third personal assistant is set to take the stand. Over the first couple of weeks, jury members heard explosive testimony detailing the alleged physical and emotional abuse Combs caused. Let's bring in David Gelman, former prosecutor and a criminal defense attorney. David, welcome.
Hey, Mike, good to be here.
So in week 2 of testimony, jurors heard from a dozen witnesses as prosecutors try to prove sex trafficking and racketeering. What are your expectations when court resumes tomorrow?
It's going to be really interesting tomorrow when Diddy's third or fourth assistant takes a stand, and she's going to actually corroborate Kid Cudi's testimony from last week, where he said that Diddy and another associate of his bombed his Porsche years ago at his house. Now, you have to have corroboration about that because nobody can put Diddy there. And in fact, nobody even can say Diddy's the actual one who did it. But if they can say that Diddy or an associate of his did it, then you may have a racketeering charge there. Because right now, as it stands, Mike, nothing, and I mean nothing, is sticking to Diddy.
Diddy's lawyers are trying to make the case that his escapades do not amount to federal crimes. How How difficult is that argument?
I think they're doing a fantastic job, honestly. Look, everybody has said, and Diddy's lawyers even said it in their opening statement, Diddy is not a good guy. There's a lot of domestic violence that occurred between him and Cassie in their relationship. However, what we've heard so far from the testimony of Cassie and the other individuals does not amount to the federal charges that he's being charged with right now. I'm not going to say anything that we heard is very good because it's all horrific. However, the state or the government in this particular instance needs to prove beyond a reasonable doubt that he conspired to racketeer, to sex traffic, and to promote prostitution. So far, they're falling way behind in this. And I know there's a lot more to go in this trial because they're saying it's going to be about 8 weeks. But the government really better step on the gas because they don't have a lot more time to go.
So the play seems to be maybe admit to a state crime that avoids prison time. Is that it?
Yeah, I think so. Look, again, you're hearing about all this domestic violence, but all that has nothing to do with what Diddy is charged with. There's a possibility, and I'm saying a very strong possibility right now, that Diddy could walk, that he could be spending 4th of July at home having a barbecue.
Interesting. David Gelman, thank you very much for your analysis today.
Diddy could walk. Now, that was before this new testimony and this and that. But Diddy could walk. I bet you, I promise you guys, Diddy's team, when they cross-examine Jane Doe, that is going to be fireworks in that courtroom. They have already won over the jury. Well, I'm not going to say the whole jury, but some of the jurors. They're going to have a field day with Jane. They're going to have a field day with Jane. Destroy her on that thing. And maybe it's not really fair to her because I guess she was subpoenaed. I don't think she would have came to the court. I don't think she voluntarily came to testify against Diddy. He is still paying her rent, $10,000, which that's going to get cut off. I think she's playing ball with the feds because they probably threatened her. Like, look, you took drugs on that plane. I don't know how they found that out. I don't know how they found that out. You know, other people ratted on each other. So she has to play ball here, or she probably would have been brought up on charges herself. You know what I'm saying? So I understand. So I'm not. Look, listen, I understand that she is forced to come in and testify. You know what I'm saying? But I don't like the way they're framing her as a victim. And she's scared of losing custody for her son. He had almost all of them in hotels, not at parties. There was a security at his parties to keep people from getting in, not from getting out. Says travel before you die. Diddy is dirty. Yeah, like I said, you know, we know he does bad things, Greg, you know. And some of those things rise to criminal activity. We just saying charge him properly. You know what I'm saying? Women use men every day, and I'm a woman. Oh, you are a woman. Okay. I got time today. Okay. Hey, did you see where TMZ released audio played in court today on their channel? Oh, so they released it. Yeah, I played the audio. I played the audio, Sherry. I played it here. And it didn't sound like a crime to me.
Hey, I really don't know what's going on with you, but I just want to just give you a heads up that I'm about to really disappear on you. You feel me? I'm not going to be playing these games with you at all, at all. So I don't know. You think you silent treating me, and you think I'm going to be, nah. You'll have a rude awakening. You'll just have silence. And ain't nobody threatening you, and I ain't trying to go back and forth with no woman. You know what I'm saying? I'm telling you, I ain't got no time for no motherfucking games. Where my life is at right now, I don't have no time for no games, baby girl. Me and you can be mad, I can have a spat, we can have whatever. Then after that, you better get on your job. That's really, that's all it is. Cause you got me on my job. Nah, it ain't never gonna work like that over here. You know what I'm saying? I was trying not to leave this message, but you have left me no choice. So either you go in the direction of like moving on and shit like that, or you like just like have me just keep moving. Ain't no threat. I'm just being clear. I can't do this shit with you every time you get upset.
Yeah, I mean, I don't see nothing wrong with that audio. They play that in the courtroom, Sherry. I mean, I see zero wrong with that. Who was gonna, in their right mind, continue to pay $10,000 for a person that's giving you the cold shoulder, not taking your calls, not, being engaged with you as far as relationship? I mean, men do that. Men take away they gold chains from women, or they try to after they get broken up with. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I don't see anything not normal about that. It says Combs still pays for her rent to this day. Jane says. Jane said she and Combs entered into a love contract in 2023. She signed a contract. Grown lady in 2023, in which he agreed to pay her $10,000 per month rent as an allowance. He is still paying for her rent even now, as she testified on Friday. She also testified he threatened to cut her off financially if she stopped participating in the hotel nights. Okay. Combs told her he put $15,000 on credit for things in her new house. When Jane then expressed hesitation about having the hotel night, in part because she was having her period, Combs became angry and accused her of using him for money, according to the text. Look, that's adult personal stuff, man. I don't see anything illegal about that. That's their own personal weirdo relationship between addicts. I mean, like, I don't see a crime there. Coercion, Raze. I don't see a crime there. You can scream coercion 50 million more times. I would still tell you I don't see a crime there. And knock yourself out. You know what I mean? Knock yourself out. You can. Yeah, get in your job. Your job is to make me happy. I mean, it is what it is. Pink Goddess. I mean, I just like, it's like that's a conversation between him and her. That's their relationship. It was a weird relationship. She knew it for years, and she continued to go back because she collected the money. I mean, I can't feel sorry for her. Only thing I could feel sorry for her about is that I wish that maybe Diddy had, I mean, for her sake, that he stopped having a freak offs with other people. She seemed like she really loved him and wanted him to herself. For her sake, I wish maybe he had, but she knew. Like, how many times are you that gullible? You're gonna keep going back to a guy that continues to have you do freak offs and inviting people like Paul over there. It comes a point where you say, all right, enough is enough. I'm gonna pay my own bills, or I'm gonna sell my house, or I'm gonna find a way to not rely on this dude that's a freak, a sexual freak, a sexual deviant, if you want to call him that. Why am I even in love with this dude? That's on her. That's on that grown lady, not teenager. The lady's in her 30s. That's on her. That's a her problem. Now it's a Diddy problem too now, because but that's a them problem. Why do I care about that? Ace. Chat GPT lists 3 possibilities: force, fraud, coercion, involvement of minors, third party, profiting, or control. Says Anonymous. Now, I haven't heard anything about the minors. It wasn't really force. Now, do you want to say fraud or coercion? Now, fraud, she's not being defrauded because she knew since the first few times she been with him that he was a freak and that he was into that stuff. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I mean, that's her own decision to continue being in that relationship. Did he threaten her and force her? But she didn't say that yet. Like I said, Monday she might come out and say that, claim that. I mean, this just a mess. It's millionaire Hollywood stuff. I think they said something about she was like an influencer too on social media, and that he promised to supplement her income because she's not going to be doing the social media stuff no more. So he said, "You be with me, and I'll go ahead and supplement your income how much you want, and this and that, something to that effect." And she signed up. I mean, what like? I don't know. We're gonna see. He might be found guilty, but it's just like I just don't like the extra stuff. I don't like being played like I'm an idiot. You know what I'm saying? I don't like being played like I'm an idiot. I'm supposed to believe that that's a crime. That audio I heard. He threatened her with silence. I guess silence is a weapon now. Yeah, he just threatened to say, "Look, I'm not going to talk to you no more, and I'm damn sure not going to send you no more money." That's the crime, Travel Squad. They're trying to convince us, people with brains, that that's a crime. And if they can convince a nation that that's a crime just because people want to bury Diddy, which is fine, you want to bury Diddy, but if they convince you that that's a crime, guess what? You're going to be put up there very soon, and they're going to use that Diddy case. You know how they be bringing up old cases and be like, hey, remember this case 2025, Diddy versus the government? He was found guilty of this and this because of that. They're going to use that guilty verdict to get you. Can't be coercion. She was planning All-Star Weekend freak off all her idea. And she continues to get paid $10,000 till this day. How the hell is she a victim, Ace? You're right. Can't be forced because he gave her 2 opportunities to leave and she didn't. Have they changed the definition of victim in the dictionary? Though I haven't read the Webster's dictionary in a long time. Since maybe I was in 2nd grade. Probably 4th or 5th grade. But everything is a victim now? Everything that happens, you're a victim now? Well, yes, I guess so in America, yeah. All these lawsuits and this and that, nonsense. Yeah, I guess anybody can be a victim these days. So really, I really shouldn't be surprised, actually. I'm not surprised. Shout out to you, drop or not. Freaks acting freaky. Drugs addicts acting druggy. I mean, that's what they all signed up. They was all adults. She's no victim. She's a willful. Yes. But people are saying, oh, this is a smoking gun kill, bro. This is a smoking gun. Did he go to jail for life because of this? No. You could put him in jail for life for the other stuff, whatever y'all want to say he did, but not this. I'm not trying to hear that at all. Drop or not. Shout out to you, drop or not. If he turned her up front, I'm seeing other women, and she said I'm cool with that. Yes. Before she signed the love contract. She signed that love contract in 2023. I think she started dealing with him in 2022. So she knew what he was all about the freak offs and the hotel nights. She knew that, and she went on with it. She's no victim at all. This is a joke. It's an insult to our intelligence, and the people that is buying this, and just so you could bury Diddy. That says a lot about you. That says a lot about you. That it's like, where's your standards of like objectivity? and stuff. Be a little objective. Not everything is a crime, even though the government and people would tell you that everything is a crime because they put it out. It's a crime. Crime, crime, crime. Hell, you want to get me on jaywalking tomorrow? I jaywalk every day. That's a crime. Well, come arrest me. Hell, I say jaywalking is more of a crime than what I heard in that audio from Diddy. He just said, look, I'm not paying you no more. If you ain't gonna be my girlfriend or do the freakish stuff that we signed up to do, or I was paying you to do in our little made up relationship thingy freak offs, I'm not gonna pay you. That's what he said. Go find the next millionaire to pay your rent. Why is the whole prosecution off? I don't know. I mean, that's just, I don't know. Did you go over the prosecution opening statements when the first when the trial? Yeah, I seen part of it. I had to go over it. What I do, I'll post their opening statements one day. Because they're going to do their closing statements also. So the closing statements is going to be even more important because the closing statements is going to kind of put together what all of these witnesses said. You know what I'm saying? And they're going to do their closing statements, which is going to have a bigger impact on the jury. He told her from the jump he has other women. She thought she could change him. Yeah, she just thought she's just another girl that thought she could. It's like, well, yeah, I'm not even going to get. It's like when the girl thinks she could change a man. Obviously, she thought she could change Diddy somehow, and she couldn't. I mean, that's on her. That's her decision. Not on my. I mean, that had nothing to do with me. I be honest, the people they put on the stand really look stupid. Yeah, I mean, I mean the one that like this is just a stretch. This stuff is a stretch. The crime committed was her taking the drugs on the plane for their own personal use. That's a crime. And like I said, I'm not here saying there was no crimes committed at all, but charge appropriately. They going down. It's a slippery slope. That's all I'm saying. This is a slippery slope. This thing was really meant for like organized crime, as far as like the mob and stuff like that. Like I said, people say the Young Thug stuff, YSL out there in Atlanta was more of a RICO racketeering type thing. We don't really want y'all to be the feds to be using RICO for every little thing now, just to guarantee a conviction. You know what I'm saying? I could see if you was bringing this out for like a serial axe murderer or somebody that's a serial killer or stuff like that. Well, I guess to be fair, I guess they probably figured Diddy is a serial assaulter, if that's what they maybe they, like if they believe these females, which like I said, they proved one was lying yesterday, the day before yesterday, but if you want to say, look, we gotta take this guy off the streets because we believe he's a serial assaulter. Well, why couldn't you just bring up a bunch of charges like you did Harvey Weinstein and just charge him appropriately and let the evidence come out? Because they charged Harvey Weinstein with that, with all word and assault for specific females. Give him 23 years. I know he's being retried. Grown folk need to be held accountable. They were all at fault. Bingo. Bingo. One love. Bingo. That's all. I wanted to get across tonight when I said Jane is no victim in the classic sense of a victim. Exactly. RICO is going to be the new way to get you on something without proving the real charge. Bingo. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. I agree he did crimes. Can you charge him with those crimes? Can you charge him with those said crimes? Can you charge him with those said crimes? All right, you want to get him? All right, you bringing in Kid Cudi. All right, you know what? Charge him for arson for Kid Cudi's car. Can we have that trial? Can we have that trial? You want to get him on breaking and entering? Can we have that trial? And we can have a verdict with a punishment is going to fit the crime that was committed. Like I said, I'm quite sure the judge could have sentenced Diddy for a good amount of time for just assault on Cassie. That video alone. Like somebody was telling me earlier, well, the state and the government they could press charges on behalf of the victim. They would have got him on assault. He would have got some time and some good time in prison if the judge sentenced him to the maximum. But they're going for life. The feds want life. Is this case a case of life? Life in prison. Well, 15 years to life. I doubt. Well, I don't know. The judge could do whatever he wants. He could sentence him. He can technically sentence Diddy to life for this. Yeah, he's facing life. He's facing life. Nah, the statute expired for assault. How about S assault? Because she claimed S assault. I don't, with the whole Me Too stuff, they extended that Ace. Look how they got Harvey Weinstein. How you rich and famous crying over a Porsche? Hey, some people are mega rich, and some people just are just rich. It's still his Porsche. He's still mad. It's still disrespectful for somebody to burn your Porsche. Now that whole thing was over Cassie. A love triangle over Cassie. Diddy lost his mind up over Cassie. Acting all jealous over Cassie. No one has ever had hearsay as evidence. Well, like I said, people have been convicted of people's regular testimony without really DNA evidence and stuff like that. If the jurors believe them, people have been convicted on that type of stuff. $10,000 rent says, yeah, he's still paying it to this day. He's gonna stop paying it after this testimony. Would that be a crime if Diddy was to say, "Hey, I'm not paying this girl rent no more because she testified against me"? No, Diddy, you got to keep paying that rent. It's coercion. Coercion. You're coercioning her. You're coercioning her, Diddy. You must continue to pay $10,000. You're committing coercion. It comes a time when you just got to say, look, I'm not going to allow her to pay my rent no more. I'm done with this. If it was that much of a problem, you got to be an adult. You got to be you got to be an adult and take self-responsibility for your own actions. Say, all right, I'm not gonna. I'm a downsize. People downsize every day. They sell their house. They try to get a better job. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's on you. You kept going back to that man, that freak for that $10,000 a month. I mean, that's on you. That's how they did Cosby, then changed it back after the charge. Going on a honeymoon and having X will be a RICO. Well, now Diddy is more of an extreme case, but hey, you know, they are. That's what they're, you know. Hmm. This is like the 100 women versus accountability meme. They were all adults. $50 needs to become 99 cents and pay her rent. He'll pay until the trial ends. So you're saying they're gonna force Diddy to keep, he's gonna voluntarily keep paying until the trial. I cut her off soon as they called her, and soon she ratted on me, saying that she took ecstasy on the plane to bring me. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, well, your rent cut off. No more rent for you. Why should I be obligated? You testifying against me to continue to pay? I'm like, yeah, I figured that. Yeah, it's no, yeah, they, this all is legal mumbo jumbo. But guys, I think I'm gonna leave it at that. Thank you everybody for coming through. Great chat. We'll see what happens on Monday. Be prepared for the Diddy defense team to go in on her. That's gonna be fireworks. Hit that like button. I will be live from the courthouse next week. Probably not every single day, but I will be live over there, giving y'all updates on what's going on with the Diddy trial, and we'll see what happens. Is that, you know, the verdict is gonna come up on us very soon, very quick. The time flies, so so this is gonna be interesting to see how this goes. It's gonna be a photo finish because all I'm saying, because of the jury. The jury, I believe that the jury, some people in the jury, is kind of like rooting with Diddy's defense team as they cross-examine. Maybe because it's more entertaining to them. Maybe that's probably why they're making facial expressions. Maybe they might still say guilty, even though they might find the cross-examination entertaining. So who knows? But we will see. Alive Inside. Miss Berry, this is the Pro Facts channel. We don't go off emotions like your girl Tisa. Yeah, you know. Yeah, Ace. They didn't charge him with that. It's like, and I wonder. I'm quite sure they are explaining the RICO and racketeering to the 12 jurors. I'm quite sure they don't really understand the RICO and racketeering either. I'm quite sure they're getting instruction by the people on the court, from the court, the judge, and whoever is talking to the jurors. But I'm quite sure they, like all of us, they don't really know the details of a RICO. You know what I'm saying? So they are looking at this trial just like us, even though they are getting more professional guidance on what the RICO and racketeering is. No, Miss Berry, if you see my live streams, you know what? I'm not even going to explain, Miss Berry, because I don't care. You can think I'm a pro Diddy channel if you want. I don't care. I'm Raze, and I am out.